All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the London session live stream. This is your host, Connor Abrams, and this stream is brought to you by Monster Money Trading. How's everybody doing this morning? Hey Ben, what's up? You're on holiday? I actually can't remember. You in school still? D-Man trades more good, thank you, bro. So let's just... What happened there? Okay, let's try this again. Okay, I guess we can start on the DXY. My trading view is giving me a bit of an issue right now. So DXY, overall pretty rangy, but we're maintaining this bullish structure coming off 102. We came back into these highs from last week, and you can see that we're running out of steam there. So likely just heading into a range here on the DXY. So no real clear direction on the dollar just yet. Overall, still bullish with this current structure, with last week's candle closing bullish. And also just the hawkish Fed. But like I say, right now, you know, just a little bit of lack of direction. So this is just nice to have a look at. We can get an idea of what's going on with the dollar. You know, if there's no real clear direction on the dollar, then dollar pairs may also be a little bit mixed. So moving on to gold. Now, let's just remove all of this and zoom out a little bit. Alright, so yesterday I was discussing that even though that daily candle on Tuesday closed above this resistance, essentially, if you put this resistance in like this, we had that daily candle close above. But I said we need to look at this as this entire area here with all these wicks as a rejection area. Look at all of these wicks. You know, we saw rejections there, all over the place. And if you zoom into a 4-hour time frame, you'll see that even more clearly. The 8-hour actually looked pretty decent yesterday. But let's look at the 4 hours. So 4 hour here, you can see that 1932 was pretty much your resistance on the 4 hour. And I was just saying that, you know, this structure is still bearish. You're coming off of that strong bearish move, breaking out of that range that we were in for some time. And, you know, we had a break, retest, form new lows here. You had a pullback, and we went through all of this yesterday. And then coming into New York session, we were actually looking at some potential buys just based off the price action at the time. And then we saw the rejections coming in, and we knew at that point to adapt, and that we were rejecting this area. So seeing that we were rejecting that 32 level, and now even breaking back below the structure you know, we are looking to continue to trend to the downside here. We do need to just keep in mind that we've got some economic data later today, and then we've got NFP tomorrow. So one thing I'm not liking about today is I like to see the daily and the 4-hour candle lining up coming into the session. Right now, that's just not the case. The previous 4-hour here closed bullish. Based off their daily, just visually, it looks like we'll probably flip bearish on this daily candle. We don't even have a bottom wick. I think there's a very high probability, especially after yesterday's rejection and strong bearish candle, there's a very high probability we flip bearish on this candle and possibly, depending on the data, drive down into 1907 at least. But now, as day traders or scalpers, you can't just blindly enter positions thinking the daily candle is going to flip. You need to see setups and confirmations on the lower time frame, because this daily candle wick could still come up into 1930 for all we know. So, like I say, based off the 4-hour, you know, right now we're seeing a little bit of a pullback after this impulsive move. On the hourly, also a strong bullish candle closed above this most recent resistance. So I'm still looking at potential buys this morning just to play this like minor pullback. So looking for some short-term buys above 1920. But like I say, understanding that the daily is bearish, overall trend is bearish. If we do see some sort of rejections in this area, maybe a fake out of 1920, then, you know, we can start to look for the sells. The issue is selling into this range right here that I've just said. We need to take caution in this range, because you can see this lower volume has just led to choppy price action. So, you know, this is not the cleanest of ranges. And I still think safer sells would be below 1915. So for the buys here, I would really like to see some structure forming, like a break and retest. So I really just want to see us holding above this area and then forming support to continue up, possibly to fill this range up to 1924. So understanding that this is a counter trend idea, understanding that, you know, this is most probably, if we do move up here, this will most probably be the top wick for the daily candle. Could see rejections at any point. I'm going to be a little bit more selective with the trade and how it sets up. If we do see a nice volume coming to the downside, get those breaks below 1915, that's great. I would prefer to take the sells. But just on that note, there's no need to take a trade here. So we'll just see how price is setting up. Morning, Mr. Reese. No bottom wick on the daily for gold. Exactly. Chaos on gold yesterday. I don't know, man. The more I study like the movement later in the day on gold, I feel like this is pretty normal. It was a tricky one with that fake out, but you had to be careful of this 32 level. 32, even like 35. We had a very strong rejection on hourly. Yeah, looking at this 1920 level, it is a very strong level. And we definitely could see rejections there. But like I say, just looking at the current structure on the hourly and looking at this range coming down, I don't want to force anything here. 4 hours also bullish there. So if we can start to break, you know, the previous 4-hour low and then maybe flip bearish on the daily, that's going to give us some confirmation there to actually come down into 1912. But I don't think you want to be rushing in from this resistance right now. It may work out. Definitely, I'm not saying it won't work out. There's always a probability. But that's not a gamble I'm willing to take. Every trade is a gamble, so don't take like offense to that. That sounds worse than it is. Every trade is a gamble, but you know, you are playing the probabilities. No trade is guaranteed to be a win. So you got to put the probabilities in your favor. Look for the highest probability setups as per your system. Maybe that trade is, you know, maybe that's a setup in your system that you really like. I don't know. Would you consider a sell with hourly closure below 1917.8? Yeah, I was looking at that. I think on the hourly it looks decent. If you're looking at just the hourly structure here, you know, we can see that, okay, we had that bearish momentum. This is looking like just a pullback. So in this pullback, you're getting some like lower time frame bullish structure. So if you're breaking below this low with volume, it makes sense to move down into 1915. So rejections of 1920. Break back below this structure. For me, the range is also a bit tight. 20-25 pips. And just seeing that on the 30-minute, that's not the cleanest of traffic. I'm not too interested. Did he take the sells, Wayne? Yeah, I saw that setup because we were sitting at just under 1920 there. And you're holding that level nicely. Beginning of the minutes, it just had that spark up. Came back, broke the lows. Had a nice little push. Did Rob leave the Zoom? Yeah. Had my first 2,000 Rand day yesterday. Always got to come back to the roots and reasons why I'm here. Just another big thank you. Hey, bro. Well done, Reese. Well done, bro. That's amazing. Just think about that in like, compared to if you're working a normal job. I mean, I don't know what you would do, but I know at this age, bro, like, if you were to start working somewhere, here in South Africa, pay is very low. I know for the jobs that I worked, I was getting paid like 6 grand a month. So that's like 10 days worth of slaving away, made in a day, on your phone. Like, isn't that crazy? And it's just all from the skill, building the skill, everything that's gone into it. So well done, bro. Keep pushing. Soon it's gonna be $2,000 and then $20,000. Fuck, bro. The world is your oyster. I went short at 1929 last night. Jeez. What's up, Jared? You good? How you doing?
Can you hear me?
Yeah? How you doing?
No, good thanks to yourself, brother.
Yeah, good. Just cold this morning, bro. Yo,
Sure,
I'm
dude,
tired of
it's
winter now.
ridiculous. Yo, when my gas ran out on my heater, I'm pissed off at it. Yeah. Not in a good space.
Oh,
Pretty
shit.
soon you need to send money for gas, bro.
What are your thoughts on this morning? A little bit choppy. Yeah.
You're a little bit choppy. I was liking that we're coming down pre-session towards that support at 2015. But the minor rally up, it's not really too concerning, but the fact that we've broken above that resistance of 19.68 and closed above there, I don't know. I want to see either a stronger resistance off of maybe a higher interaction level and then the continuation down. But right now, I'm comfortable just sitting out. Eh?
Yeah.
I don't foresee bars right now. There's just too many issues left. And then for the sells right now, I think it's going to be a huge gamble saying, well, okay, great. We've, air quotes faked out, grabbed liquidity. Now we're trading back bearish. It's just doesn't sit right. So I'd rather wait for a nice resistance and sells from that area or sells below 1915 and see what happens there. Because right now it's just not looking amazing. I don't like that we've broken key resistance, breaking back into 1920.
Yeah, like I said, I would prefer the sells, and just on that note, there is no need to like force anything today. But if there's a very clean setup here above 1920, like you say, taking the sells off of a higher resistance level, I think if volume's coming in London session, we're holding above 1920, we could push up to retest 1924, also that previous 4 hour support. So that was my thought process behind the bars, but like I say, going to be extremely selective with that. And then the
it's
sells
gonna
also
it's
just
gonna be a
selling,
tough one.
like selling off of these rejections into this choppy range. I don't know, I don't love it. I would have maybe
Yeah,
been more aggressive if, like I said, I like the 4 hour lining up with the daily coming into the session. So if maybe there was a bearish 4 hour coming into the session, could take more aggressive entries off of a rejection like that. But I don't want to rush into it now. I think these sells will probably play out later in the day.
yeah. I also, one thing I said to myself this morning when I was having a look at price is, if my main component for today's sales is I'm selling because I'm anticipating a bottom wick on the daily, I'm not going to take it.
Yeah,
That's
that's
not
solid.
gonna, if that's the whole idea, then I don't want to force it, because easy gold could go up to 2030. I mean, 1930 could move up to 1940 even again, revisit those highs, and then come back down to create that bottom wick. And also going into New York session with all the news coming out today, I don't foresee myself forcing anything just based off of one idea of no bottom. I
Yeah,
just think that's a little bit like silly. Just that one idea, basing things off of just that is just hard.
it's like kind of like if you had boxes to tick to enter a trade, or criteria that needed to be met, like that would be something optional. You know what I mean? Like it wouldn't be, that would just be a bonus. So to base a
Yeah.
whole trade idea off of that, yeah, it's not a good idea. It makes complete sense. Like I said, I think there's a very high probability you get the bottom wick on the daily, but just to chase the sales right now doesn't make sense. Just wait for price to set up.
Yeah, like you said, I'm gonna have that idea today of like conference, and we don't have a bottom wick on the day. Instead of, we don't have a bottom wick on the day, some take his toll here, something.
Yeah.
So it's just gonna be like a cherry on top of the cake. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey, we got all the OGs back in the chat today. We have Mr. Dreyer, we have Mr. Hanson Samson. Jeez,
Hey.
what are the extra
Hey, what's
pilot
up,
means
Con?
here?
How's it going, bro? I haven't seen you in a while. Yeah, just for the day. That's kind of what I would like to see for the day. Pull back into a level that makes sense. So that 24 is a previous 4 hour support. Could just retest that level, but even pullbacks into like 1930. Now we're gonna melt in a few minutes.
We're melting. Gold's melting.
Talking
God, it's
about
like one
melting, bro.
15-minute bearish can. Oh, goodness gracious. Like YouTube did. Yeah.
I was gonna go over GJ briefly, but it's just like, never mind. Never mind.
Did cover GJ in our midweek market check-in on Patreon, so
Yeah, I
the
saw.
guys really want to go check it out.
Yeah, if you want to see the GJ breakout, check the Patreon out. But no GJ breakdown this morning.
Oh, GJ is rubbish.
I'm gonna just close this tab. Trash. Jeez, good stuff, Con. I'm sure it's good to be back, and that's a positive start. Keep it up, bro. What company are you going with?
I see a lot of the guys are going with Glonode lately.
Yeah, I think that no time limit is quite attractive.
Hmm.
And I see the funded trader is coming out with no time limits. I think that funded trader is coming to take over, bro. Good stuff, bro. 100k more Forex funds. Yeah, nice. I wonder if that Monster Money discount code still works. Someone used it.
Yeah, no, I think it still works.
I don't get anything from that discount code. I actually emailed them for that discount code, and then they gave me one, and I was like, okay, cool. And then I was like, wait, fuck. So I get commission from this. So I emailed them back, and they never got back to me. So
Cheap.
it is what it is.
That's not
Do it for the chat.
No, that's really not like that. At least, yo, if they could say to you like, sign up 100 people, something ridiculous like that, so they will give you a free 100k account, or at least a challenge, if you know what I say. Just
I'm
something
sure
to
like
it.
at
So
least
it's,
50 people have used that.
yeah. Do you get emails when people use instruments?
No,
No, that's
I do get commission from the link, but I
get you.
think like the last time I checked, I've received like $35 off of it, and then I went to see like how do you actually get the money out, and I don't even know how to withdraw it. So
No, guys, Connor's got like 14 sources of income from trading, but he just fucking never knows how to get the money out of these discount codes and links. Oh. Like, man lies to us when he says, I have one income stream. Yeah. No, but I get what you say, yeah. Like, I know I've got money sitting in, uh, what do you call it? Magic Keys. Their affiliate program. Yeah. And yo, obviously I've never got it out there.
do you know how to, or you just leave it there? Leave
I
it
think
there for a
I'm not
rainy
at
day.
the threshold. Yeah, no, I'm not at the threshold. I think you have to get something like $100 or $200, and then you
Okay.
can withdraw. And I think I'm sitting at, I don't know exactly. I don't want to lie, but I'm
Put
under
your
the
Magic Keys link
threshold.
in the chat there.
Is it still there?
I actually think it is.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think it's in the.
I think it's on
video
our link
description.
tree. No. Oh no, that's funny. Oh, no, but well done on passing phase one, Mr. Hanson Sanson. Hopefully you get through phase two and you can start getting some bang from each other.
So this is kind of what I want to see here. 15 minutes. Break and retest. 5 here above 1920. Looks clean on the hourly. Also, just referring back to the DXY, so we went over this very first thing. But like I say, coming off of these highs, we can see that the momentum has died down. We see that, you know, you got some dollar weakness this morning. So like I say, that could just lead to some deeper pullbacks here this morning to set up for the sells later on today. Seeing some nice volume here coming into the new 30. There's 2 minutes for this candle to close. I do like what I'm seeing here on the 15 and the 30.
Now, if you do get that closure above 21.4, you should be good. Hourly looks really good.
I actually don't want us to close above the previous wick. I want us to close below, and then we can have a buy stop on the break of that high.
I'll get you.
Volume, please. Sorry, bro. I don't control your volume. Alright, so just looking at the 15, you can see we broke above this resistance. We pulled back, retested this area, holding above 1920. Clean traffic to the left. 30-minute candle is about to close here. So I'm going to take buys on the break of this high right here. So I'll have a buy stop at 1921.5. As soon as we break that high, I should be in. Buy stop 1921.5. Stop loss is about 20, 25 pips. I'll confirm now. Okay, stop loss below previous 30-minute low for about 23 pips at 1919.1. No bottom wick needed. So, moving away from more like breakout entries to being a little bit more patient, waiting for some sort of pullback and retest. Once you've got this support formed and you've had some sort of pullback already, I don't need to be as patient waiting for that bottom wick. Sometimes you'll get these confirmations and you'll just run. For instance, not that this was an ideal setup that I would have been looking for, but you came down, had a pullback, essentially support formed on this 15. You can see the next 15 didn't get much of a bottom wick, and if you were sitting around waiting for that bottom wick, you would have missed that. And that's fine if that's part of your plan, but like I said, I think knowing when to be a little bit more patient for the wicks to form is important. But also, you know, you don't always have to wait for those wicks. So I'm not in just yet. I think I had mine a little bit higher. But it's at 21.5 on my broker. If you're in, that's fine. Once we re-break this high, I should be in.
So your broker must have that tight spreads.
I think price is also just a little bit different.
No.
Because normally there is about a pip difference from trading view to my broker. So this higher is 45.9. Yeah, it only came up to 21.33. Yeah, well, some guys are in.
Yeah, I see price hit a high. I got a high at 21.38, but I must have had the spread that triggered me. But I see what you're saying with the high.
Yeah, obviously spread at that point, because it never came up to 0.5, but spread will put you in, so obviously spread probably played a part there. My spread is
If this break is
sitting at
broken.
11, so like 1 pip.
Yeah, I'm at about 11 and then it bounces to about 15 ticks, not pips.
Yeah. Yeah, mine's floating at 11, 12. So yeah, 30 minute just getting a slightly steeper bottom wick. Let's see what the next 15 minute does. Or whoever's not in. Manage risk on the hourly? What do you mean? You are in the trade, there's no management here just yet. I'm still pretty happy with how it looks. I would have liked to have seen us obviously start to push up already. But we were still very early into this 15. Sometimes your first 15 on the new 30 can just sit around a little bit. But the setup is there. Looks like I'm about to get activated. Okay, so my buy stops have been activated here. Buy stop activated, stop loss below the previous 30-minute low at 1919.1. Quite a tight break-even point here. And I'm just looking to target 1924.25. So I'll actually set a TP at 1924.25. I'm not looking for anything more. Like I say, just understanding that this is most probably the top wick for the daily candle. So just a short-term trade idea for the morning. Weak bearish close on the 15 and break of the high and you're in. Yeah, that sounds good. Just looking at the 5. As long as the 5 closes bullish here, I'm anticipating the next 15 to see some nice volume. Okay, so 5 closed nice and bullish. 15 just a weak bullish candle. Once we break that high, should be sorted. So just management ideas. If we do break the previous 15-minute low, you can look at closing some of your position out there. Just to keep the loss small. I'm probably not going to manage immediately if we do break that 15-minute low. I'll just stay adaptive here, keeping it on the 5-minute to just see what the 5-minute's doing. But like I say, just an idea. You know, if you're feeling antsy in the position, 12 minutes till London Open. That's just an idea to keep the loss small there. But as well as looking at the 5-minute, I'm also zooming out here, looking at the hourly, looking at the 30 minutes. Still looks very good. Previous 30-minute actually broke the previous 30-minute low and still came back up, broke the high, closed with a very strong body, clean traffic to the left. So we do look good here, just stalling out a little bit before London Open. It's still looking pretty solid. Nice strong bullish candle on the previous hourly. Sorry, I didn't see a message shared. Yeah, I don't really like
10
that
minutes
you're
ago,
running out of momentum here. But yeah, with 8 minutes to go, what are you gonna say, Jared?
so I was just going to say that with 8 minutes to go, I really wouldn't panic at all. You know, we could get a little bit of a pullback to create an hourly work for, but we still are trading very, very bullish. So I think if you're feeling antsy or whatever the case, just look at the hourly. Have faith in the higher side.
Yeah, that's what I was zooming out to. Yeah, I think, let's see.
Mm.
As long as we're closing above, this area, should be fine. Closing like a weak bearish candle above this zone on the 30 shouldn't be an issue. Well, one concern is that we come down and retest this area again for like a double bottom. Obviously, then you're sitting in some drawdown. So breaking the previous 15-minute low, like I say, that's just an idea if you want to manage risk. Personally, I'm not going to do anything just yet. 5 minutes till London open. Gone with slightly lower risk just because, like I say, overall we are bearish. So I understood this was counter trend. What about the hourly close? Closes in 5 minutes. Bearish trend, I think 1920 is so strong. We can see nice volume to make lower week daily flip in London. I personally don't think so. Basically went through all of this in the beginning of the stream. You can always go back and watch. But the whole idea here this morning was that there were no real confirmations for sales coming in just yet. Daily candle, yes, had no bottom wick, and like I said, very high probability we still flip bearish on the daily. But at least for the session, sales were not there just yet. We're still holding above this 1920. And this was taken on the break and retest, so look for a safer entry here. Just stalled out a little bit before London, but as long as we're closing bullish on the hourly, I'm still quite happy here. and then anticipating this move to be a top wick for the daily. So no like excessive targets or anything. Went lower risk, looking to just target this 1924, which is your previous 4-hour support.
We'll see what happens in the next minutes and make a decision from there. So far, we still look good.
Yeah, like I said, as long as the hourly closes bullish, I'm fine. I don't want to strangle this right before London Open. The trade idea is still valid here. Obviously, just we would have liked to have seen that volume come in earlier. Closing bearish on the 30 is not going to be the most ideal, but we're still holding above this area of interest, and we're not engulfing that previous 30. We never broke previous 30-minute lows. This candle actually still broke the highs there. So if the next 30-minute opens up and we break that bearish 30-minute high, with volume, we're looking good to fill this range. Like I say, hourly still closing bullish, holding above this zone. Tapping 1920.
Yeah, I'd say one way to look at it is if you do break the highs now with above entry and then you come back and break the hourly low, then that gives you a good place to manage risks. But I think right now you're like hovering between managing risks too aggressively because this hourly could still pull back and create a bottom before you get the drive.
Nice bottom wick, nice tap of 1920, new bottom wick on the new hourly candle. Obviously, want to see this hourly candle flipping. Did your buy stop activate? Yeah, I did. I am in. John Wick. Since I've actually gone with slightly lower risk, what I'm thinking to do just personally is we come up to break this previous candle high. I'm going to add in my full risk, but I'll move my stop loss to below this new hourly candle. I'm still, you know, if we're breaking that high, we look good here. That's just another confirmation. But yeah, as we come up to break that high, either way, I would move my stop loss to below this current candle. Always playing hard to get these days. Yeah, I waited for the pullback there on the 15. But yeah, I could have maybe waited for London Open. I was seeing what I wanted to see on the 15. But you are getting a deeper pullback now, maybe the 30 minutes. You know, if you get a setup like this on the 30 minutes, you know, then that's going to be really clean. But there was volume in that 15-minute candle there, so pulled the trigger, stops on a safe place. Saw what I needed to see. If it doesn't play out, it doesn't play out. Still respecting that 1920 level. You'd think if you were to move down, you would have had a little bit more volume to the downside. Like I say, still holding that 1920 level quite nicely. Yeah, we're coming down quite hot here. So breaking below that 1920 level. So not looking too good. You are seeing some volume to the downside now.
As long as you respect that hourly low being very good.
Yeah, our stop is in a logical place below this structure. So, you know, once we break that low, I do want to be out there. I was concerned that we would get this double bottom when we saw that momentum running out. But yeah, I gave the trade a chance there, so let's see. Seeing rejections off of these lows. If the hourly flips now after respecting those lows, I would expect to see a little bit of a push coming into the 15-minute close as well in 3 minutes. Let's see what happens here. I'd like to see the 5 closing bullish at least. Just confirming some sort of support being formed there. Got the hourlies just about to flip back bullish, hourly and 30 minutes. Nice rejection of previous 15-minute lows. Also, if we adjust this level, so I just got this key level at 1920, but if we're just looking at most recent resistance, we are also just retesting there. So basically that double bottom now. A live example of how having a logical stop is so beneficial. Yeah, I mean, for now, it's looking like it's, you know, obviously paid to possibly hold off from managing the risk, but just with regards to that, you know, moving away from more aggressive like breakout trades, when you're taking the pullback entries, normally you're getting a slightly better risk to reward. I suppose when I was looking at this entry, this 15 was sitting down here, and then we just rushed up in the last few seconds of that candle. So I didn't end up getting as good a risk to reward as I would have liked for, you know, and like generally speaking. But normally off of these pullbacks, you're going to have a better risk to reward. And then I feel as though, you know, you've already had a pullback. You're not going to be managing risk as aggressively, because your stops will most probably be smaller, generally speaking. This situation, maybe this wasn't an ideal entry, but I was seeing volume here, so I took the break of those highs. Saw nice rejections here, but failing to push up. Could be the bottom wick of the new 15, but I don't really like it. Nice rejection on the previous 15, but not looking amazing. Let's see what happens. I would like this 30 to close bullish. Bottom wick on the new 15 just tapped 1920. Now rejecting, so not looking too bad. If I were on the lower time frames here and I wasn't in this position already, I'd probably be entering here, to be honest. Like this would be ideal. So still got confidence in this idea here, still respecting previous hourly lows. I would like to see the 30-minute candle closing bullish. That would be ideal. But as long as we are, you know, respecting this zone, got a nice strong rejection here. But if this 15 closes like a strong bearish candle, it might be a little bit tricky. So let's see. Was that first 15-minute candle as always? I reckon we're going to push now to close 30-minute bullish. Yeah, I've been seeing that a lot as well. First 15 of the hourly, giving some sort of pullback. Gold needs to make a decision here. Yeah, looking solid. Looking solid. Or are we forming a range between 19 and 1920.5? Well, yeah, on the 15 and 5, that is a range. But just zoom out here. I suppose it's all about perspective, right? On the 30 minutes, you know, this is looking like just a break and retest. 5 minutes, I would say more of a double bottom, but we need to actually break. We need to break to the upside here to confirm that this is a double bottom. A double bottom really, you know, that it's just the name of a pattern, but really it's just indicating structure. So we formed forming higher highs, higher lows, and then we had this higher high, higher low, and then we had this pullback again, but we failed to create new lows. That's basically all a double bottom is indicating, is you're failing to create new lows, but you're still respecting that bullish structure. So if we could break out to the upside, we can then call this, okay, a double bottom. For now, yeah, it is just a range. But let's see. I'm looking at this clean traffic here. So yeah, there are these levels here to the left. I understand that. But with volume, I'm anticipating us to fill this traffic right here. Most recent price action, there's no issues here. If we zoom out to the 4 hour, I would say yes, higher time frame. I'm more bearish here. But for the morning, we can see that we're moving bullish. So taking advantage of these bars, looking to retest this previous 4 hour support, 1924. So that's my target there. There's a lot of bullish volume in that previous 5. So let's see what happens here. I need this 30 to close bullish. Or at least the 15 closing bullish. And then 9:30, we should see some volume. Hey, Tar, what's up? Did you join the Zoom? Maybe you left before I joined. But yeah, those Zoom sessions are nice with the free community. It's nice to have you guys in there, be able to chat to you. Are you going to add risk back on the break of the high? So I never took anything off. I said that I went in here with slightly lower risk and I would look to actually add my normal full risk here if we break the previous 30-minute high. Now I'm actually even more confident in the setup after this pullback and seeing the 15 looking the way it is. But you know what, I'm not gonna add back anymore, or not add any more risk. This was a counter trend trade idea, hence I went lower risk. So I'm gonna just stick with my initial gut feeling of keeping that risk lower with the idea, which is counter trend. So no, I'm not gonna add anything else. Open up here, actually open up with a gap on my broker, open up no bottom wick. Could always come get that bottom wick, but looks good here. 30-minute close bullish, 15 close bullish. So let's see if we go break that previous hourly high now. So just creating that bottom wick. You believe it will come back up? I don't believe in anything. I believe in probabilities. If I believed it would come back up, then just long term, no. You got to look at it from a probabilistic point of view. If you believe every trade you take is going to play out, then you fucked up from the beginning. No, I don't believe it's going to come back up. I've got a system, and I've got confidence in my system and in myself to execute my system. That's all I need. I don't need to believe, I don't need to know what price is doing. Okay, so what I was saying is that, we need to actually be breaking above these highs to confirm that this would be like a double bottom. But if we're coming into these highs, rejecting, then you're just in a range. Probabilities are becoming a little bit lower. So this could still just be the bottom wick for the new 30. But I don't really want to see us breaking the previous bullish candle low. So stops were in a logical place there, gave it more than enough room, came into that support again, double bottom, whatever, rejected here, started to push back up. But if volume is just not there, then maybe it is better to just get out. So I gave it more than enough room, like I say, didn't manage impulsively. I was happy with the stop loss, the risk I had on the table, so I gave it that room to run. But if, after this rejection and that's seeing that strong bullish 5 minute, if that volume is just not there to continue on up, we are just in a range, and then it's just becoming 50-50. So if we break previous 15-minute lows, I think I'll be out here. So 19.9. If we break below 19.9, I'm going to close my full trade. The stop loss below these lows is still logical, that's still below the structure, but like I say, just looking at the 15-minute candle closing bullish, I don't want to see that low being broken. At that point, it's just showing that there's really no volume, so I would just get out at that point. Use a footprint chart as well, see no volume. Yeah, it looks like we're going to come down and break that low, possibly. So we actually just moved my stop loss below that 15-minute low. I have my stop here at 19.75. So essentially my stop loss is going to be there. Just looks weird if I put it there because it looks like I've hit stops. London actually scuffed these days. Is it on? What do you mean? Yeah, I've moved my stop loss in to below the previous 15-minute low. Just from my perspective, at that point the trade's invalidated. You know, so far everything's been valid. We respected previous hourly lows, closed bearish on that 30, which wasn't ideal, but like I say, we were respecting the structure there. And then after this double bottom, you're anticipating volume to the upside. Breaking the previous bullish 15-minute low, that's just showing that you don't have that volume. So move my stop loss in here. If we break that low, I'm out. My stop loss at 19.75. Yeah, well, we pretty much broke the low, just got my stop loss like a pip below, so looks like it'll probably hit stops there. Didn't have that volume to continue on up. Just dead. So I'm out there. So about negative 17 pips. If this 4-hour candle is closing below 1920, so this hourly candle closing bearish, then maybe this is going to be your resistance to possibly start moving down. But still, in and around this time, I wouldn't be rushing it, to be honest with you. I think these moves down, because I know that guys are anticipating this bottom wick on a daily to be created. I am too, and like I say, I didn't want to rush into the sells just based off of that idea. You know, this price action, at least for the morning, was moving bullish, and we were holding above 1920. So I gave the buy ideas a chance to fill this range here. Not enough volume to continue on up. But yeah, just keep an eye on this 1920 level through the day, 1921. If you come back into this area in New York session, get rejections there, you're looking pretty good to continue on down. Discussed similar ideas yesterday, that if we were coming into 1930, 1932 and failing to hold above there, you know, the sales would start to make sense in New York session, and those ideas played out nicely. So let's see if we do get something similar today. But yeah, small loss here for London. Pretty dead session overall. I mean, ended up just ranging there. So yeah, that's gonna be me, guys. Thank you so much for joining today. Not too much more to do here.
Just shot for the session, Mr. Connor, and then we'll check in New York.
Alright. Cool, check you there. Cheers, guys. Thanks for
See
joining.
you.
See you tomorrow.